We do. I do want to mention something. When on the 24th, we will have Twitch drops are coming back.
Ooh.
So make sure you watch some streams during that day, and you'll see you'll get some different palettes and whatnot from just watching streamers and what. So make sure you're signed up with that. I think it's time to move on to the main event of the show. We got Noob Saibot.
Saibot.
And before we start, let's talk about Noob. Who is Noob? What is Noob?
Well, Noob debuted in MK2 as one of the 3 secret characters. To get to him, you had to win 50 fights in a row.
Hey!
And he started off as just a black silhouette of a ninja. He could do Scorpion's Harpoon. He was just a secret character. But in later games, Trilogy, Ultimate MK3, some of the home versions, then MK4 the home versions, and on, he became more fleshed out, more lore, more moves. I think a lot of long-term fans will know that in the original timeline, he was Sub-Zero. Killed by Scorpion in the first tournament, Quan Chi brought him back to life as this ghostly wraith or revenant.
Quan Chi.
And he was a member of the Brotherhood of the Shadows, and he had his shadow powers. In the new era, things are a bit different. This time, he has been chaos pilled by Havoc.
Shut the front door.
He is a creature of chaos. And so, his power set is very similar. He still has the shadows, the portals, but he's way more of a chaotic cleric of chaos and true believer in anarchy instead of the kind of dark arts Quan Chi stuff.
Right.
And of course, you can play Khaos Reigns to see the expansion and see how old Bihan adjusts to this change.
Right.
Not well.
Not well. Not
No.
well. All right, so let's do it.
Go into his gameplay. Let's start with his normal attacks, which almost every normal attack he has, he uses the shadow.
If you're going to use it, you might as well use it.
Right.
I mean,
They are a true tag team.
Ooh.
Check out his throw. I love that little third strike. I like even his little punches.
Can you do a sweep again?
Absolutely.
Bam.
Is it necessary?
It's so good.
Really good sweep. Really good. I mean, the uppercut just covers all the airspace
Right.
you need.
And so a couple moves I wanted to go over was his forward 1, which is a pretty decent advancing mid. It's pretty quick. He has different variations from it. Wanted to go over his back 3, which is a low. You can combo into moves. And then lastly, his forward 3, which is a pretty quick overhead that splats them down, so you can mix it up.
And even if you just notice, like, his shadow in comparison to normal roster shadows are not the same, right? Like, it's kind of like this little mystic.
Get a good look at it because it's going to be gameplay relevant. It's
What?
not just badass looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go over his special moves because it is extensive. Off the top of my head, I think he may have the biggest list of special moves in the game.
Maybe up there with like Geras, maybe.
Probably.
Those, yeah.
So let's start off with the classic. One of the first special moves he ever had is his teleport slam. Teleports in, drops them. He can do it in the air. EX version will pop them up through a portal. This is a great anti-zoning move, a great mobility tool. You can jump back and do it. You can jump forward. Catch you by surprise very quick. It's pretty much exactly as it's been for 30 years.
It's what you expect out of Noob.
Never,
You
Exactly.
move, I gotcha.
That move
Yep.
has never tilted me ever.
No, God.
Then let's go over arguably his second most iconic move, the Ghost Ball.
Ooh.
And this is a projectile that's changed many times in the life of MK, and I think this might be the coolest version yet. So, the Ghost Ball is pretty slow, but if it hits or they block it, they get this green chaotic effect on them. And this primes him to detonate it, which is a pop-up. So, once he's got it on, you can see it last quite a bit of time. At any moment, he can detonate it and then get a full combo.
Very cool.
And remember, that's on hit or block that they get primed. He also has an EX version, where once you do it, the clone starts summoning it.
Oh, that sneaky clone.
Noob is free to move around, and then any time, you can let it go. And remember, on block, so Noob could be doing block strings, setups, knockdown, stuff like that, and the clone is waiting to do it.
And you'll notice the aura lasts a while.
It does last quite a while. Another alternative thing of this is there's an EX version of the detonate that you can cancel as soon as the regular ghost ball hits. So he can immediately use it almost like a pop-up projectile. That does take 2 bars, so it's, pretty expensive to use, but it could be pretty effective for your combos. The next move I want to show is a classic, probably like one of the classic MK9 moves, his portal. It goes up, it comes down, it combos. You have a close, medium, and far version.
Keep them guessing.
And yeah, you got to keep them guessing. And when you have slower projectiles like Noob Saibot, one of the things the opponent's going to want to do is their projectiles, which is going to be dangerous because of the move we showed at the beginning, the teleport.
He gonna grab you. He gonna grab you.
Now, what was another iconic move from previous games like MK9? The
Slide.
running man.
Oh, running man.
And there you go, it's back. He does a ninja run, throws them down with that tackle, and the EX version pops them up. Classic ninja pop-up. Then, you were about to say it, the slide. Now here's something really neat. Some of his moves, when he uses the clone will go away because it has to return. Look at his shadow. Get a good look at there. When you do the slide, the shadow's actually gone, and when it comes back, that's when it's fully loaded.
Oh.
Now, some of these moves, if you don't have the clone, will actually change.
Oh.
Without the clone, he does a classic Sub-Zero-like slide.
So you can do a slide after a slide?
Exactly.
What?
Since his buddy's not there, his pal's tagged out.
Oh, that's cool.
Now you're putting yourself closer to them. You're not.
Yes.
Because the regular, the Noob Saibot slide is almost like a projectile.
Right.
Exactly. Let's go over a couple other moves because he has even more like pop-ups and moves. These are the kind of zoning moves. We'll go over some of the up-close moves.
Great.
Down back 3 is this ninja kick where they work together. EX version pops them up even better, and he can get a combo. And then he has down back 4, which is the opposite, a low kick. It'll trip them. The EX is his armor. So his armor, he's not going to get like a full combo. It's not like the best reward in the world, but you're never going to complain about having a good armor.
No, nobody complains about that.
And that's all of his grounded moves.
What?
About the air?
What about the air?
Well,
Gotta build
there's
The suspense.
a lot more because he has multiple different dive kicks. So let's
What?
start. He has an air dive kick where he sends out his clone, and you can see this has a decent amount of cooldown. This is another one where, on cooldown, he himself will do a dive kick. He also has a straight dive kick that goes straight across the screen. He can do other jump kicks. He can do it as a preemptive anti-air. And then he has a downward trajectory dive kick. And if you EX it, they are staggered
Oh boy.
for a full combo.
Don't tell me there's more.
There is
Ah.
a major new mechanic that I think really separates this noob from other iterations.
Kind of my favorite thing, actually. I
So
love it.
let's go over Embrace Chaos. Once per match, you may have noticed he has this severed hand on his hip. It's very crazy and chaotic, a severed hand.
Why?
Once per match, he can bring it out, destroy it, yell Embrace Chaos, and now he gains access to a brand new special move. It's a low-hitting, homing projectile that pops the opponent up. Oh, yeah, see, I now can't do it.
Yeah, because you did it
per
once,
match.
right?
It has, a certain amount of time. Yeah.
Yes. So he gains access to that move, and that's a tracking move. It's not close, medium, and far. And then all of his shadow special moves gain the ability to throw the opponent into a portal
That's so
for
cool.
a pop-up. So his slide, regular, non-EX, becomes a pop-up. All of his dive kick moves become a pop-up. All those shadow moves now become pop-ups. So he has easily the largest amount of comboable starter moves in the game.
Including his throw, obviously. could do
Right.
it.
But
Mind blown.
the shadow is not coming back.
What?
For the rest of that round,
Okay.
all of his shadow attack are disabled. So back forward 4 is only just now the regular slide.
Little risk
So you're
reward.
looking at it as a nuclear option.
Yes, the rest, this string, he can no longer finish it. He has to do a shorter version. Look at his uppercut. It's a standard uppercut.
You think you can finish the round? You better.
Look at his sweep. It's just a regular sweep. So to be clear again, once per game, you can use it. It works for that round, and once the timer is done, for the rest of the round, he will not have access to his clone.
But there will be some monster combos if you can get it off
Right.
during that 212 seconds.
So essentially, once per match, you decide to become kind of the combo master in the game with the most amount of options and access to this very, very strong, screw your neutral, I do what I want move. But the price you pay, if it doesn't work, if you don't win, is you're spending the rest of that round in a significantly weaker, lesser state.
And-
not helpless.
Most importantly, you no longer have a cool hand on your hip.
That's
okay?
true, and you've lost your good chum, your buddy, and you're lonely.
Right? Oh my goodness. What else we got?
Well, we have a fatal blow.
Yeah!
And his into the attack that leads into it is also very strong. It's a tracking low, so you want to go into it?
Let's do it. Where do you think they went for that second? Nah, I don't want to think about it.
Oh, that's one of the
That
best bone crushing.
that was
things in
really
the
cool.
game.
That was really cool. I almost kind of want to see it again.
You want to see it again?
I do.
Tyler?
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Wait a minute here.
Now, did you catch that?
They didn't go anywhere that time.
Kameo Sector has a special fatal blow into where if you hit the R1 button, you will shoot a rocket, so it becomes a projectile fatal blow attack.
And so that works with everybody because it's
Correct,
Cameo.
because it's Kameo. It's very similar to Motaro's
Right.
alternate fatal blow into.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right, so that was Noob Saibot. Very
This has been
excited.
a lot. This has been a lot.
I gotta say, the first one we're gonna show is a little video with Geras and OmniMan. Let's take a look.
Oh.
All right, now again, you can probably play back these videos if you want to see what happened. But what happens there is, for this one, OmniMan's forward 2, where he kind of dashes at you and punches, now gives you a little ground bounce. Now, if you're in the corner, that's awesome because you can do a corner comm right there.
Quarter com.
But if you can also use it for a cameo to help pick up the combo after the forward 2. And Garrus's forward 3 now bounces, so you can use the double time move where he makes a clone of himself to continue combos. Or you can use, again, a cameo to help out with that combo as well.
What are we bouncing to next, bud?
We're going to bounce to KungLao. Let's take a look. Kameo KungLao now has an orbiting hat. For duration, he'll put a hat around you. If the enemy is hit, they are stunned. So you can use this for protection, or hell, just throw out a random teleport and see what happens, you know?
That's how I roll.
So that's a new thing for Kameo KungLao. Orbiting hat, we've seen him before, but it works a little differently here. Nice. Let's see KungLao, the character now. Let's take a look at this video.
Will the real KungLao please stand up?
All right, now KungLao now has an aerial hat toss, which he can use.
That's a buff you can really hang your hat on.
There we go. And if the EX version of that is really good for combos. So there's another tool for KungLao to continue combos and kind of deal with people in the air. And you can also do it pretty low off the ground, too. So it can be used a lot of places throughout the screen. We have 2 more videos we're going to show you. The first one is awesome. A little bit of ShangTsung and Shujinko buffs. Let's take a look at those. So from that video, you're going to notice that Shujinko now has new combo string, where you can do a punch into a kick, which is a crumple stun, which allows you to do combos. He also has a kick into an overhead chop. So some new moves for Shujinko to get in there. Old Shang, when you're playing as Old Shang, he has forward 3-4, which is a double hitting low, a new string. Stephanie, let's talk about all Shangs.
Well, showing that an old dog can learn new tricks.
Ooh.
There we go.
Shang has a move where you do the input and he will morph into the opponent's cameo, perform one of their moves, and then morph back. For example, if he's fighting someone using cameo Sonya, he will morph into Sonya, do the leg grab, morph back. If someone's using Pharah, morph into Pharah, do the little grab, morph back. And all these attacks also have EX moves which make them stronger. A lot of them are combo starters, they recover faster. For example, the leg grab will pop them up.
And it's not randomized. If you get the same one, you're not
Yes.
guessing which cameo move you're morphing into.
Right.
That's
Everyone will
super
get
cool.
their regular and EX versions of one of their cameo moves that he'll morph into.
Right. We got one more video to show you. I know there's been a lot of videos. Thanks for sticking with us. You've seen this one before, but we want to talk about it real quick. This is, let's see, Sonya's dive kick. Ooh. All right, now Sonya has a dive kick. It's an overhead. It's a summon, so it won't, like, save you from mistakes. But it's really good for offense, a really good way to start a combo that starts overhead. And you'll also notice, maybe for you eagle-eyed Takeda players, forward 2 is now special cancelable.
Sprinkle that in.
Just sprinkle it in.
Sprinkle that
Little
in.
nugget.
Little nugget. So, but before we move on to some balanced stuff that I want to talk about, which I know you're all very excited about, and then, of course, Noob, DK, there's one more big thing we want to talk about that's coming with Khaos Reigns.
Yes. So we've got... Dang it, you just said one more thing. We do have one more thing. All right. So for Khaos Reigns, I'm going to read from a piece of paper. I hope everybody's all right with that, you know. For Khaos Reigns, we have removed the Gateway Mesa, and we have replaced it with the new Towers of Time. Towers of Time is also accessible from the main menu. So Towers of Time is a combination of the Gateway Mesa and the MK11 Towers of Time experience. There are 9 towers that are always available to the player. The front 3 towers are persistent towers. The first tower is the arcade tower, with no modifiers, and players can unlock ladder endings, and they're just quick matches with ladder endings. The second tower is our seasonal tower, same as what we've had in the Gateway with previous seasons of Invasions. The seasonal tower gets progressively more difficult after each completion, and players unlock seasonal exclusive cosmetics after each milestone level, basically every 5 completions. The third tower is the Legacy Tower. After each completion, players will unlock unobtainable palettes from previous seasons of Invasions. With later updates, we'll continue to add additional cosmetic items to that loot pool. The middle row of towers is a series of procedurally generated towers that change every hour. The tower difficulty range from very easy to very hard, going from left to right. The final back row of towers is dedicated to our live content. When we go live on the 24th, you'll be able to play the character demo towers for Sector, Cyrax, and Noob. So if you haven't purchased them yet, you can try them out in the Towers of Time. There's exclusive player module pieces for completing the demo towers for each of those characters. Anytime we have a live event or holiday event, they will populate this back row. Now, let's dig a little deeper. When you press the start button, this will bring up the Towers of Time menu. There are 3 active challenges. Each challenge rewards points. All challenges must be completed in Towers of Time environment. Once an easy or hard challenge is completed, it is replaced with a new challenge. In addition to points, easy and hard challenges reward different crafting components, consumables, or relics. That brings us to the weekly challenge. The weekly challenge rewards dragon crystals. The weekly challenge can only be completed once per week. The weekly challenge also rewards a generous amount of Towers of Time points. What do these points do, you might ask?
I was going to ask.
I know. These points contribute to a bi-weekly player versus player competition within Towers of Time. Once the timer runs out, players are rewarded items based on their final placement, and a new competition begins.
Very, very exciting.
All right. For launch of Khaos Reign, only challenges will be rewarding points. But very soon, we're going to be adding points to towers. So the harder the tower, the more the points that you'll receive upon completion. We just really want to massage the numbers and things like that before we, push it out to everybody.
Right.
So there it is.
Nice job, DK. That was well. You read slowly, concise. Like, it was very well done.
I just learned how to read.
Probably true.
There's more.
How is that possible?
I know! All right, so there's been a lot of speculation of what the Warrior Shrine is. And what the Warrior Shrine is it highlights the top 5 players of Combat League every season. And so what you'll be able to do is scroll through all the previous seasons and see who were the top 5 players of each season. I know it's amazing. In Season 3, myself, Stephanie, Dizzy, Nicastro, and Paulo were able to be the top 5 players.
Yeah, we're very, very strong players.
We are amazing.
Right.
That's a lie. We just kind of mocked this up just to kind of give you guys a first look at it.
I just barely missed it.
You did. You just barely missed it.
Fine.
Very cool. You can see the art there, a tribute to, in my opinion, one of the coolest stages in MK history.
Right.
The Warrior Shrine.
Those top 5 players will be immortalized in Mortal Kombat 1 with the Warrior Shrine. There's more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll go from one shrine to another. So the shrine, also, not the Warrior Shrine.
The dragon one.
Dragon
Fire-spitting
shrine,
dragon shrine.
will be updated with new cameo brutalities for all the cameos. So you just go ahead and go to the shrine, throw some coins in there, and get some new cameo brutalities. What else is new, Tyler? I'm going to tell you. The seasonal store. The seasonal store now has new brutalities for all characters, including the DLC characters. There's 2 per character. And they're going to be there forever. So usually with our seasonal store, it kind of resets each
roll
one
around,
of the seasons and stuff like that. These will always be there. So when we go into another season or whatnot, those are forever there for you to be able to unlock, and so you don't feel pressured like, oh, I got to get all of these this season. Also, all characters will get a seasonal palette this season through the seasonal shop along with gear. So there's more things in the seasonal shop this season. Tyler.
Yes.
You thought we were done.
I didn't.
No, we're not done.
I wrote the
Wow.
script. I know what's coming next.
Oh, yeah, all right. Okay, fair enough. So also with just updating to Khaos Reigns, everybody will get 4 new environments. Those 4 new environments also have 2 variations to each one of the environments, kind of like a day-night sort of cycle. In addition to that, everybody will get 5 new stage variations too. So like the Wuxi Academy now has a different sort of chaos-like themed variation that everybody will get.
Sindel's Throne Room has the damaged version.
Yeah. So we've got a new season of invasions, season 8. It is the season of the Dark Dragon, where Liu Kang is the invading force, and he's gone mad with power. And so he's brought his army of constructs with him to take over this timeline. And so this is just kind of an example of some of the skins and palettes that you'll unlock through, playing this season of Invasions, along with what will be in the seasonal shop. And we have more about the seasonal shop, but we'll get to that later.
Sure.
Also, this season we have new mini games. We have things called arcade, which are arcade machines that you beat up. Some of them have a little bit of chaos going on, but you'll be rewarded currency, so coins, crowns, or seasonal currency. We also have missions where you have to protect a cashew. Okay,
Oh.
That's my favorite.
There are zombies after cashew,
little
and you gotta
cashew
keep them safe. Okay, we also have a mini map. That's right. We have a mini map for each one of the mesas that really points out where chests are, the bosses are, more of those POIs for you to, have a clear understanding of where to go.
It's a real good quality of life thing people have
Very-
asked for.
yes.
So you can now see where you're going, where you've been.
Correct. We also have dedicated shops that sell components. I heard some feedback from the previous season that people really want to be able to target being able to get components. So we made sure that some of the larger mesas have dedicated component shops for people to go and find and explore. We have a new Titan which I'm very excited for. It's pretty big.
He's very big.
It's pretty big. And of course, we will have the free trial towers for Sector, Cyrax, and Noob. So if you haven't had the chance to pick them up yet, you will be able to. Are you ready for some more new stuff?
A lot of new stuff. Let's
What
keep going.
more could there be?
So we will be having online practice as well. Online practice will be in this update for everybody, just so that you're aware. Go out there, go spar with your friends, send them an invite. You guys can just do a little practicing against each other online, and that will be available, of course, with this update as well.
You could play someone, lose, and instead of complaining on social media, work with them to improve.
Or you may just want to spar with a friend.
You could also do both. You
What?
could lose, complain on social media, and then also try to get better.
All these things are options.
Absolutely. And then we're going to start going over some of the free stuff for everybody with this update. But first, we're going to start with animalities. If you're unaware, just for getting the update of Khaos Reigns, everybody gets access to the new animalities. That's for the base roster characters along with the DLC characters. Everybody has an animality.
But will the guest characters have animalities?
Well, you know, they're guest characters. Of course they will!
Absolutely.
Yes, and there's some rippers. There's some good ones.
One I'm thinking of in particular right now, it's Peacemaker, but continue.
Oh, yeah.
It's real good.
No, they are awesome, but like I said, those are free for everybody, and we'll go over some more free stuff here in a minute.